Hey YouTube, how's it going? I'm Michael Zelbel. In this video, I would like to take some coins that I own and put them to work, get them producing some interest for me. In a previous video, you might have seen me purchasing Luna, the crypto or the main cryptocurrency on the Terra system, because I'm quite bullish about on Terra and on Luna, because I think the teams behind the systems they are just fantastic. The way they act, they develop, they communicate, it's all fine. Now on Binance, my favorite exchange, I have this Luna coins which I purchased, and they are sitting around so far. It's roughly $2,000 worth of Luna, 352 Luna, and that's cool because I believe, well, Luna might go up like 5x, 10x or something in the foreseeable future. Cool, but I don't know for sure, and also why not put the coins to work? And for that, I want to use the Anchor protocol. Let's go to Anchor at anchorprotocol.com. This is a savings protocol which I find very interesting. I've never used it, so it's the first time that I do something like that today, but it looks straightforward. I would have to go to the web app, and then there are two things that I can do. Basically, there's an earning site where I can deposit UST. This is the Terra US dollar pegged stablecoin. I can deposit UST and earn 17.93% APY, which is fantastic, I would say. So I could now swap my Luna coins to UST, put them here and earn this interest rate. And okay, this interest rate is not guaranteed, of course, it's fluctuating, but 17.93% is at the absolutely lowest end of what this contract, Anchor Protocol, will pay. Usually it's more about 20, sometimes a little bit above 20%. But currently the market is still down and in shock because of the crypto crash last weekend, so everything is down. That's okay. Now, this is something I can do. But then there's also the borrow side where I can put bonded Luna as a collateral. So I would have to bond my Luna coins and add them over here as collateral, and then I could borrow UST. Now I also could do that, and I would have to pay 12.51% APR for this loan, but I would also get 238.78% distribution APR. So I'm paid to borrow over here with 226.26% at the very moment. So that's even more interesting. But of course, with borrowing, there's a little bit more risk, because if my collateral loses in value, I might get liquidated, then I lose quite a percentage of the collateral. So yeah, it's not without risk, that's clear. But this is interesting, and today I want to do both. I want to bond my Luna to B Luna, then provide them over here as collateral. Then I want to borrow UST based on my collateral, and then I deposit the UST in the earnings tab so that I get both interest rates and more. All right, lots of things to do, so let's get cracking. The first thing that I need is a wallet for Luna and also for UST, because a lot of times I have to pay transaction fees in UST, and I want to carry over Luna and then bond them and all of that. But fortunately, there's a wallet which supports all of that. That's the Terra Station. I will add that to my Google Chrome, because I don't have any wallet which could do that yet. So this is added. Now let's go there and let's pin it. Okay, and I have to create, with this extension, I have to create a new wallet. So let's open the whole thing. I want a new wallet. Fantastic. A wallet name. I was thinking about Apollo, I mean it's Luna, Terra, Apollo, and wallet Wapollo. Why not Wapollo? I mean the name is just for me. It really doesn't matter. Then a password. I would now generate a secure password with my password manager, but I would rather not film that. So let me quickly do that in the background, and then I can paste the password over here. Now I have this seed phrase, a 24-word seed phrase, really long, and I rather not show it to you for obvious reasons, but I will copy it and place it safely in my password manager so that I never ever lose it. I've written down my seed, and now I am challenged to put in some words of my seed phrase so that I prove I've really understood it's important. I've written it down and I know which words are on the 5th and 13th place. So let me quickly check that. Go here, I select the right word. I go there, hopefully select the right word too. I'm good to go. My wallet is created, but of course it's empty. It would be not much nicer if I could create a wallet and it is filled with a whole lot of coins, but that's not how it works. No. I have to send my Luna coins to this address, to my Wapollo address, which starts with Terra because it's on the Terra blockchain. And I can click over here to copy this address. Now I can go over to Binance and find my Luna balance and say I want to withdraw it from Binance. Bye bye Binance. Okay, I want to withdraw it to a new address. Copy my address over here. So the network is Luna. Network is actually Terra, but it's the Luna currency, but that's okay. Memo, no, we don't need a memo to send it to my own wallet. And the amount, I want to send the maximum amount, so that will incur 0.02 Luna network fees, which is probably 10 cents or something. This is fantastic. I love this network. And I click withdraw and confirm. Ensure that this is the right address. Yeah, I copied and pasted it. The network is Luna. That's fantastic. Continue. Now I need two codes. One they will send me by email. So click to get the code over here. And then another one which comes from the Google Authenticator app on my smartphone. Now let me get the code from my email without showing you. Again, I mean, I'm happy to share so many things, but I guess you understand why I can't show every secret detail over here, because then everybody would just take my money. And then the Google Authenticator code. Good, submit. There we go. We could save the address, don't need right now. And this is going off. Now the transaction is going through. And sooner or later, it will pop up in my wallet. And there we go. Here it's still on. It's still pending, but the wallet is already seeing my Luna. 352 Luna is in there. Fantastic. Next thing, I have to swap it into the right currencies. Here's the thing. On Anchor, I could bond my Luna. Yeah, we saw over here on the borrow side, I need bonded Luna, Bluna, or B-Luna as a collateral, but in my wallet I have Luna, so I need to bond the Luna. I could do this here, but I don't want that because the rate is not so favorable. It's nearly 1-to-1, but over here for 10 Luna I get 9.99, Luna at the current time. There's also this really awesome swap service, TerraSwap, terraswap.io, and there I usually get a more favorable rate. At least that's what everybody says online. So let's check that out. Go to the web app where I can actually swap and connect my TerraStation wallet. Good. Okay, over here from 10 Luna I would get how many B Luna? So 10 would give me 10.185, which to me sounds much better than 9.99. So yeah, I will swap my Luna over here. But first, I want to get another currency. I want to get a little bit of UST, the US Terra stable coin, because when I'm dealing with Anchor, then I will have to pay the one or the other transaction fee in UST. At least I believe you have to do that. So why not change one Luna to UST? Let's swap that. So I have to put in my password again, which I have to get from my password manager without showing you. But we can save that for now and submit. Okay, done. Let's see if this is visible in my wallet. Yes, I've got 5 UST over here, which just might come in handy. Now, the main thing, let's bond my Luna by just swapping my Luna against bonded Luna. Okay, I want to do that with all of the Luna, so I click Max and I select bonded Luna. Good. Let's swap. Again, I'm looking at the fees over here. They are low, and I like this so much better than this Ethereum powered applications, which usually then come with the really high Ethereum transaction fees. Submit. And done. It's lightning fast. Let's have a look in my wallet. Yeah, we have Bluna, like we would say in Germany over here. I mean, over here, Bluna is a drink, a lemonade or a soda. But okay, just as an aside. Good. I think we are good to go to put the coins to work. Let's head back over to Anchor, to app.anchorprotocol.com, and let's start with the borrow side. The first thing I have to do to borrow is providing my collateral. So, I'm not connected yet, sorry. The very first thing I have to do is, of course, connect my wallet. Didn't even notice that I have a wallet installed, huh? So, allow access to the wallet, allow, yes. Oh, now it's connected, good. Fantastic. Yeah, I want to provide my collateral. I will put in all my Bluna. Transaction fee 25 cents. Fantastic. Good. Submit. And it is complete. My collateral is over here. And now it tells me my borrow limit is $1,000, so roughly half the worth of my collateral. But I'm not going to borrow so much. So let's start. Because I mean, how much to borrow? This is a really delicate question, right? I could borrow 50% of my collateral value, but see over here at 35%, it's already warning me and saying, hey, if you go so high, then you run the risk of getting liquidated. So they suggest that you just borrow up to 35% of your collateral value, because if you borrow 50%, then if your collateral, if the Bluna drops a little bit in value, then you get directly liquidated. So parts of the collateral are sold and the loan is paid back. But yeah, if that happens to me, then I would lose a good percentage of my collateral because it's sold at a discount. And that's not good. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to get liquidated. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it costs some percentage. So I usually would probably go to this 35% that they say it's safe, but since this is the very first time that I do something like this, I'm really new to all of these things with borrowing and so on. I want to be very conservative and just borrow 25%. So that would be 512 USD. Let's do that. So I've got a big buffer. If my collateral drops in value, I still have quite a bit of time to pay back the loan or whatever, or provide more collateral to avoid getting liquidated. I mean, that's that's of course if there is time. If the market collapses from one moment to the next, then yeah, there's nothing I can do. So waiting for Terra Station. I was talking while this actually waited for my submission. That's complete. Okay. And in my wallet, I now have 515 USD. Well, that's cool. Alrighty. Now this is on its way. I borrowed this $512. For that, I will get a net APR of 226% for the 512. Yeah, not for the 2000, of course. And it is granted in Anchor tokens. And what I can do with those, I could go to the Govern tab and then claim my rewards, my Anchor tokens, because I borrowed a moment ago. It's already counting up my rewards over here. That's cool. I'm already earning. I'm already earning Anchor tokens. Now, this is such a small amount. I would wait a bit until there is a nice amount. Then I claim all my rewards and then I can stake them, for example. You just stake them over here for an additional 3.15% on my APR. Yeah, so compounding interest. This is something I don't want to go into right now and calculate how much that is. That would get complicated. I also don't want to go into this side, providing my Anchor tokens into a liquidity pool, because that's complex and honestly I have no experience and no clue about the dynamics over here. So I would just stake them over here. But that's something I do later once there is enough reward accumulated. For right now, I go and I will put the UST that I just borrowed to work again. Yeah, to work too, by depositing them over here into the earn side. I'm going to deposit, go to the amount. Maybe I don't max it out because probably I have to pay the one or the other transaction fee in USD. So let's say I stake 511 of them and keep 2 USD over here. Yeah, over here, see, I already have to pay 1.16 over here. That's okay. Proceed. Submit. That's complete. It's over here on Anchor. And right now I start earning the interest over here for this deposited amount. Okay, I'm interested what that would actually mean in total. So let me do one thing which is a little bit unprofessional. So if you are a real financial nerd, then please look away for 5 minutes, for a moment. Don't watch this video in the next few minutes, because what I want to do is I want to add the APY and the APR from the borrow side and see what I actually have to expect. And yeah, I know these are two different values. Yeah, API is calculated differently. That takes the compound effect into account, while over here the net APR wouldn't take that into account, but there is a compound effect because I would restake the rewards. But anyway, that's all complex. I want to keep it much more simple. It's not exact, I know, so please excuse if that's unprofessional, but it's good enough for me for getting an idea. Now, I want to know if I have this 226% and I add the 17.93% that I currently get on my deposit, then I get 244%. But I only get this interest on a quarter of the money that I put to work over here in total, right? So to have something more meaningful, I would have to divide it by 4, and then I end up at 61.025%. So 61% for me, that is the interest rate that I'm orienting myself around. This is what I see this position is worth at the very moment. And like I said, you financial nerds who know much better, if you can calculate much better, I know this is not exact and not 100% professional, but it tells me roughly what it's worth. Yeah, and I like this number. Yeah, I like 61% interest rate, because it's way more than I currently get with any of my traditional vehicles that I've got running. So it's a lot. Of course, I'm aware there are risks. Things like Anchor protocol, they are new. It can all fall apart and tomorrow, and then it's not worth anything anymore. It can get hacked. All of that. The market can crash. I get liquidated and lose 20% or 30% or something. All of that can happen, I know. But if things are okay, and I trust the team behind Anchor and behind Terra, and I hope that I can see when the market is getting too negative and I have to adjust my loan over here. If that all works out, then it's 61%. So I really like that. With that said, I hope you can somehow leverage this information for yourself. Go into this, either just borrow something if you want to play it really safe, either just deposit something in the earnings tab if you want to play it really safe and have a nice interest rate, or like I did today, borrow something, get even more. But let me know what you think. Let me know, do you already have experience with this kind of vehicle, probably with the Anchor protocol as such? Did I do something wrong or suboptimal? Should I actually do something different without adding too much risk or even to reduce risk? Or this would be very interesting for me, because like I said, I'm very new to this. I never did borrow in DeFi before. It's the first time today, and I'm sure there are a lot of things that I don't know yet. So I hope that the one or the other of you can give me a tip how to make things better. That would be really awesome. But in any way, let me know under the video what you think. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like if this is helpful, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. All the regular stuff that every YouTuber will tell you all the time. And in any case, I hope I see you in the next video.